to Sex Education. And my name remains Chimmerze Henry, and I'm your host. Thank you for joining us today. Please, can we mute our minds so that I can introduce and start today's show? And today we'll be having a very interesting topic, which is titled How to Handle a Big Dick. So, in the house with me is Marvelous Achafo and the Kwan. Unfortunately, Marvelous just went out, but he will soon be back. I can see other comments. Thank you, Collins, for joining us today. So let's dive into today's topic. You know, starting with um, starting with the Kwan as we wait for Marvelous. So,
Okay.
the Kwan, what do you have? Can you say something so that I can hear you? Can you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So
Okay.
starting with you, what do you feel in having sex? Do sex matter to you or no?
Yeah, it matters.
Sorry, so the size, I mean.
Oh, size. Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to sound like a power bottom, but I'm verse. But um, I feel like size is not something you can control. So, yeah, obviously, most gay boys do like men who have bigger. But to me, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care.
Welcome, Mr. Chafo. Is your phone
Thank you very
working now?
much. My
You
phone
kind
is
of
trying.
feel
It's trying.
you
Please,
you kind of feel a little bit frozen though.
my dear, can you guys see me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you. I cannot see
Thank
the
you very
top.
much. So,
Don't
my
you look a little
fans,
bit dark today?
no be only Big Brother Naija. I'm appealing to my fans. No be only Big Brother Naija get fans. Fans of Qrealtalk, please get me a new phone. My fans and AC, please get me a new phone. So, yeah. I'm
Please, you can
listening to
hear, you have
you.
heard Marvelous plead. Marvelous is saying that he needs a new phone. Marvelous phone
Yes,
has
so
been freezing for a time. I don't know what happened to his phone, but we'll try to see how to resolve that. But let's go back to our topic today. So welcome, Mr. Achafo. We're talking about how to handle a big cucumber today. Or in other words, instead of using the word dick, I'm going to be using cucumber because of social media's rules and regulations, so we don't get flagged. So if you're joining, welcome to this segment where we're going to have this deep discussion if size really matter in the bedroom. So I just heard from the Quan, and the Quan says yes, there are some boys who like big size. And when we talk about big size, how many inches are we talking about? Because for everybody, big means a different inch
You're
of
right.
length.
anything below 8 inches is not worthy of being a big or ten top.
What do you
Any,
mean by that?
anything below 8 inches, at least if you are saying 8 inches, if you are talking about big cucumber from 8 inches and above now, I think that's the normal size. You can say from 8 inches and above. That's why you now
So you're saying if
categorize it as
somebody has
big.
a 7.5, what is that called?
That's not big. That's like average, like normal everyday dick.
I kind of
But
feel
wait,
average
but
is
You can
wait.
from
average it.
7 to 9 for me.
Ca-
So to
But
me, I would say from 8. 7, you are
Go
an
on.
average dick.
no, I was just gonna say it sounds like we're talking more about length instead of girth because you can be 7.5 but be really, really thick. You know what I mean? Like, so when people say big, are we talking length or are we talking girth? Like, what are we talking about?
What do you mean by God? Do you mean by the thickness?
Thickness, girth, yeah.
And again, some people could be 7.5, but it could be curved.
That too, yeah.
So I feel there are so many factors that evolves when we talk about size and length and everything when it comes to the bedroom business. Um, what was I even saying before? You guys kind of took my head off. So I kind of feel everybody has it.
Like I would say again, the best way. 2 minutes, don't beat about the bush. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, but
Can
you're
you guys hear
frozen.
me? Sorry
Yes.
for me freezing. My phone is smoking up. I must say, let's go straight to the point. How do you take a book cucumber? First, clean yourself up. Don't come there and be dirty. Douche well. It's very, very important. This topic is sensitive to me because you need to do sure. Don't come here and be messing up people.
Did you
That's
just
the way
have
to
a
first
bad
take it.
sex experience? Did somebody print on you?
No, I've just said to let people know that's the most important thing first. If
No,
you're
because the way
asking,
you're sounding as if it has happened out of experience.
no,
You know,
it's been happening every day. It's been happening every day. It's been happening every week. They will be the ones. No one pays me. I think some will be the one to say, "Oh, I want it big. I want it." They'll say, "Send it to me. If you're not big, don't text me." And yet, when the big thing enters you, you end up messing up the place. I end up staining the place. I end up making it so. So I thought that first of all, be prepared for it. When you ask for something, prepare to be able to receive it. Don't just say it
so
for the
how
sense
should they
sake.
prepare to
Prepare to be
receive
able
it,
to.
Mr. Chafo?
As I said, number one, the first important thing is you douching. You need to douche well. You need to be clean, at least for your top. Yes, tops should also get clean for your BTM. You know, shave. If the BTM wants a top that is shave or clean yourself, your bath well, look neat. But at least let the BTM to do the needful by keeping that place clean. Not you. You say you want it big,
And when we
and
talk
yet you
about
want to
cleanliness,
complain.
when we talk about cleanliness, can we just simplify what cleanliness means? Because you just say keep that place clean.
Cleanliness
What do
for
you
the
mean?
BTM. The most important thing is douching. Douche well, not to stay the top.
You know,
Because there's
some
one
people
thing
don't know
I
what the
see
word
that
douching is, though.
douching is please explain to them because I'm a professional in this.
Please, douching is when you put in some water into your anal canal. You must first use the washroom to make sure that you allow all the juices from you to come out. Then you need to flush that place. You must also make sure that if you're going to, we've talked about this in another episode, but I'm going to still re-emphasize on these things. If you're going to take a big dig, I think the first thing you need to do is to prepare your belly, because from your mouth to your belly, from your belly to your free zone. So you need to make sure that you know the type of food you eat. You eat food that are high in fiber, not food high in starch, not food high in red meat, because you know when you want to use the toilet, you want that place of the thing coming out should be free and clean. By the time that you put in some water and warm water and then flush that place, it then becomes clean. It takes about 30 to 1 hour for you to properly douche. You're getting. And again, you could also, like I said before, you need to make sure you shave. Most people don't like unshaved asses or some unshaved booty. Let me use a proper word. You need to make sure you clean that place. You use nail, or you use. I don't avoid people to use blades, because blades could cause wounds and you're going to have penetration, so you don't want to have an opening or a tear at that time when you're going to have penetration. So
Or
it's
razor.
always good
But what
to
if the
use.
person is not comfortable with shaving? Some people shave
That is
and
why
then
I
they
say they
say
can
they are
use
not
nail.
comfortable, it
Nail
irritates
nail
them.
is a hair remover. Nails is a
Nail?
hair remover. So
No, but people probably don't want their hair removed. They said if I remove my hair, I feel less confident.
that is
My
why
hair is
I
my
said
identity.
if you want to shave, that is an option. That is why I
Because
made the
some
statement.
people's hair is their
Thank you,
identity.
Don. Please let
What
us
is it done?
let's look at Don. Let me make Don
This
first.
one, this one.
This will get
You
you
see,
smooth, you guys. It'll get the whole smooth.
it's gonna make everything clean, and it's gonna make that place smooth. You know why I advise you to shave. I advise you to shave because some people like to be eating out. When you want to get into this action of eating out, it's not good to be eating hair. We don't want to have hair inside the food. You are a full grocery. So when we are eating your food, dinner, and grocery, we are not expecting to be eating hairs with the
But
groceries.
that means tops too should be getting shaved, right?
It is on a personal hygiene that people should shave, because a lot
Okay,
of
that means
germs could
tops
be
and
sitting on
BTMs.
those. Yes, stop some BTM, because a lot of germs
No
could be sitting
problem.
in your hairs. There are a lot of dandruff. Dandruff is one of the bacteria that can be sitting in your hair. There could be stains. For example, if you are a bottom and you clean and you don't clean properly, there could be some excreta sitting within the hair. So it is always good to shave. In short, it is important to shave, because that is a good personal hygiene to practice as a regular human being. If you even see my armpits now, see, shave it, shave it, shave. Apart from that,
My own armpits na Sambisa forest.
shaving is
Ah,
it is attractive. Again, a lot of people love to sniff, and when you have a clean shave area, you put in some body lotions, gel, body oil, whatever you want to put in to make that place sense. And when they sniff you, they're
Chinweze,
like,
grandma don't too much.
you
Grandma
look
don't too much.
amazing. I'm
Grandma
coming.
is too much.
I'm coming.
Please
That is
tell
how
us, how did you take your church, your youth pastor's big
we are
cucumber?
going to go
Go
into
straight
that. We
into the
are having
story.
the conversation
Please,
first.
there is a story
We are going
time.
to
I
have
don't want
time
this
for.
talk too much. How did you take your youth pastor's big cucumber? Please, straight away.
We are going to go. We are going to go into story time. Let us finish talking about how to handle a big dick or a big cucumber. So after you finish cleaning up, then you go to your business. Oh, back to you, Mr. Achafo. You were saying something before you asked me to explain.
Thank you very much. I said, how did you take your uncle, your youth pastor's big cucumber? Please
Darling,
explain to us. That's today is
from the
supposed to
one
be
I
story time. I've been
started
preaching since.
having,
Well,
from the one I started having penetration, I've always gone big. That is why, like people like me, we started very massive and we can never go small. We can never go small
so
because we started huge.
Oh my god.
So the
So
person
are
who
you saying that?
opened,
Are you
the
saying
person
that?
who
Are you saying that at
opened,
your place?
the person who
Chimeze, hold
opened,
on,
I'm
hold on.
coming.
Can
The
I ask a
person who
question?
opened,
Let me
the
ask a
person who
question.
opened, the person who dedicated the walls, dedicated it big. So for me, I never really have had an issue with taking a massive cucumber. I'm just like a champion. Go ask your question.
Can, thank you very much. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. And again, I'll be showing the
So,
comments so that we remember people
like
on.
I said again, like
Yep.
I said again, I don't know, but this one you're saying you always go big, I go big, I'm always
Yes.
doing big.
Mhm.
Are you sure that you are not like those BTMs? That their hole is now so wide that a rat can live inside?
I'm not going to take that personal, but I'm going to say no. The thing is that I don't have sex so often. Sex to me is not a huge deal. I have sex when I'm
No,
in
some BTM,
somebody,
but
and
even some
again,
people are so some
I'm
people
a
are so
verse,
big that they
I'm
can't
a
even feel
verse.
any pleasure.
So I'm
You are a
mostly a
verse.
verse stop.
But you
Yeah.
said you always go big.
Yes, I
What kind
always
of
go
verse
big.
are
If I'm
you?
going to bottom
Big
for you,
daddy.
I
Okay, you
need
are
you to
big,
be
big
big.
daddy verse.
What?
But you said you always go big.
Yes, if I'm going to bottom, I want it big. What is wrong with having it big?
And you are
I'm
verse.
a big boy.
Chimere,
Everything
please,
about me is
hold on.
big.
Can you stand up? Chimere,
Everything
please stand
about
up.
see,
Hold
wait.
on, hold on.
Everything
Stand up and show
about
the
me is
camera.
big.
No, just walk. Walk around your room. Show the camera.
I
Show the.
cannot walk.
Just walk around your room.
I'm on mic. I'm on mic.
Oh my
But
We
everything
know
god.
you are.
about me is big. From my
Okay, you
behind
are
to my
Mike.
front is
It's
big.
true.
Because your behind is bigger than it's your back. I almost wanted to call it Titanic. Sef. Because I almost wanted to call your ass Titanic because you are big. So I wondered when you became verse again. Have you ever met a BTM that has a bigger ass than you? It's not
Yes, I
possible.
have
That
a lot,
Chibueze, you
a
have
lot, a lot.
a
I've
lot.
met,
I'm
yes.
surprised. So please explain to give us details how you took your
So
uncle's big cucumber.
okay, okay.
Sorry, I said
Let's
your
go
youth
into the
pastor's
story
big
time.
cucumber.
Let's go into the story time.
Uh-huh.
So darlings, listen. I was like pretty young then. Let me say I was around 14 or 15, around that age. And then I was still like I was done school, but final exam for WAEC and all that and all the mock. For those watching, mock are just like pre-exam before you write your main high school exams. So then I used to go to this fellowship. Oh my god. So I went to this fellowship. Now we were praying. I was going there to pray out my Guinness. So as I was going out praying. One day brother said, thank you for coming to fellowship. I want to know you better. With my church heart now, I thought brother wanted to know me better. So we started talking. He was like, tell me more about yourself. So I started opening up to him and telling him about how, I was in boarding school and then I was having like little fling here and there in boarding school. I was like, oh, that's good. He's like, give me more details. So I started telling him more details now. So after fellowship one day, He says he was going to come to my house. That was on Sunday. So my parents were like, okay, they're going to go for morning service. I was like, I'll go for a second service because our church used to have like 2 services, right? Morning and noon service. So when my parents went out for morning service now, brother came over. As brother came over now, we now went to my auntie's house because like we had like a main house, then we had like a boys' quarter beside. So the main house was locked, and I don't let most people come into the main house because of all the setup and kittens and everything. But I knew this person, so I was like, okay, let's go to the boys' quarter. So we went to the boys' quarters, and then we started smishing and kissing, and then he pulled off his pants. My brother, that brother was big, long, let us say 30 inches, and then I was scared. I was young, right? And then then he pushed me. Oh my god. Then he's like, don't worry, it's not going to be painful. And before I knew, shwa, I almost screamed. Then he covered up my mouth, and then we started doing the 2. And before you know, it became a frequent thing. So that's the whole story. Oh. That is the whole story. Oh. And then my brother never left
You
my
said
brother.
13 inches.
Yes, darling. Long, like a snake.
Did you carry tape to measure it?
See, he told me the size. He's measured it often time. So that is my story. That is how. But I feel like for me, because like when I first had sex,
But wait, I want to ask Don, how did you learn to take dicks? How did you perfect your dick taking? Can you give BTM tips? How do you take a big dick? A dick like my own now. Yeah, my dick is big. How can you take a big dick like mine?
Please don't tell us your dick is big. Nobody asked me, so we can't confirm that statement.
But how can you take a big dick? Okay, see.
And one thing about people who have big dicks, they never tell you their dicks are big.
That's a good question. I mean,
they never tell you.
I feel like if I'm prepared, like if I'm dushed, if I am shaved, if my hole looks pretty, and he knows what he's doing, and I'm patient, and we use lubricant, I don't think it's like, hard. It's just like I think people get scared.
What if he says no lube, that he likes to spit inside?
Mm-hmm.
What if he says no lube, he likes to spit inside?
Spit inside?
Spit.
Okay. All right then, I guess. But I guess like I'm saying, like, I think people see a big dick and get scared, but every dick that goes inside of you, in my opinion, you're going to feel it. You know what I mean? We all have anal canals, we all have prostates.
If the dick is like small, you ain't gonna feel it. It's gonna feel like a poke.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you still feel that pressure in your stomach, but you're just gonna feel more pressure with a bigger dick. So I just try to relax. That's
true. That's true.
Yeah. Like I just try to relax, and if the mood is right and everything's right, I'm just gonna lay there and take it like I need to. Because my mom did not raise a punk. No, I'm joking. But
yeah, I feel that's the most important thing. First, you need to be prepared for the dick. You need to know this is what you're going to do. You need to try to relax. And because again you've douched, so that place is already open. The water has warmed up the whole annual walls, so it makes it easier. Like we talked about before, put in some gels. I love to use gels, especially when you're taking large, big, extra inches dicks, because like when they're entering there, they are going to shake the whole place. It's gonna be an an earthquake. So you want to make sure that you don't have, and again, this is very important to know that we're laughing because most of us love big dick. All of us want something massive and huge. And at the end of the whole day, when you finish taking a massive, huge dick, you can't walk again. This is why we are having this conversation, so that after you finish taking it, you can still walk again and you can still use the restroom properly. So put in some gels that will help you, some water or water-based gels inside. I prefer, for me personally, if I was going to put them, I prefer baby oil or Vaseline. Baby oil and Vaseline on Johnson & Johnson baby oil. Though that people
Yeah.
say it's not healthy, but they are the easiest to get in
Marvelous,
developing
Marvelous.
countries.
Before you start, I just want to say one more thing. It's gonna hurt regardless, but I mean, after a while,
Darling, it doesn't hurt for me.
I mean, no, I'm saying, but after a while, you get used to it. You get used to it. Like at first, it's gonna hurt, but then you're gonna get used to it.
Let me just add this. I feel like for me, sometimes I ask that. I think on this topic, I don't know, it feels like we're putting too much pressure on the BTMs, like, oh, BTM do this, BTM do that. Don't you feel like sometimes it's not how big the dick is, but it's how you use it? Yes, you could have.
That is why we were coming to it. That's why we were coming to that conversation first. So we want to first gradually hold down the loop instead of going everywhere. So that is why we're first talking about how to first handle it. But like you said, yes, I feel it's how you use it that matters.
Some tops are just naturally rough. Some tops are just naturally rough and wicked.
Yes.
They have a big dick, and yet they will know, oh, this is a big dick. They know this, oh, this is obviously a big dick, but they still keep on ramming into you, trying to use the dick to destroy your insides. To instead of them trying to, maybe they're trying to like go with the flow. Those people like it rough.
Just for so we don't get flagged. Go on, or just D.
So
so they'll be using the big cucumber to be ramming into you,
Sorry.
So that
the big cucumber ramming into you. I don't know why we're not using. I don't know why we're using fruits now for body parts. Let me use banana.
Or you could say banana. Banana. If you can't say cucumber, you say banana.
So let me use cucumber. So if you know, some people have a big cucumber, while some people have a small carrot. So you that have a big cucumber now and not a small carrot, you go about, you ram the BTM, trying to destroy the life of the BTM.
Because we are not sure of your size. Go on. Nobody can validate your size. Everybody always says big, but we know it's always a carrot in between.
Like I said, if you are ready, I will validate it for you. And she believes I bind you just like just like the actress. I bind you. So let me continue what I say. So for me, I feel like it's not just about this. It's how you are able to use it. Because I see a lot of tops these days. Tops that are just pure. It's just pure wickedness. What they know they cannot take. What they know they cannot even do to a lady. Even if it was a lady cannot withstand it. They go about trying to ram the BTM, trying to. It's almost like you are performing harm. You're trying to harm the BTM. Rather even give the BTM pleasure. Even you yourself, sometimes it's so bad that even the tops they don't enjoy it. But just because they want to have a quote unquote this kind of tag to their this thing that, oh, the way I did fuck her, he no get himself. The way I did deal to him, he could not get himself. I just feel like sometimes it's just pure wickedness. I know we're still getting to that, but I feel like sometimes size actually matters.
Here, right? Can I add something?
Yeah, add something.
Like even for me, when I was having sex with like my youth pastor, the first thing I noticed was that he was really, really, really rough. But what I did was that when he pushed me to the bed, I held him. I was like, hey, yeah, that this ain't a pussy. This is a booty. So hold up. So I feel like for bottoms, you need to take control. And that is why sex position, the first sex position you start with really matters. You could start with a cowboy or a reverse cowboy where you could just sit and ride. That is why it's good to sit and ride so that you can take your time to insert it, because on top in their head, they don't have patience. So you need to make sure that your body first is relaxed and can receive it. Then when it is fully in, you need to still take time for the loop to drop. You know, that loop needs to drop from your walls onto the whole place until you see the loop on that part of at the bottom of the cucumber. Then you can then start slowly riding. Then when you start slowly riding, then by the time you've ridden for some few minutes, you know, okay, I'm ready now for the extra. You can carry on. Mr. Chaffee?
Yeah, I was just done. I just had to say that. No, I'm done. Basically, I just had to say that that is also one calling point. So don't put the pressures on BTM that, oh, because on BTM we feel like, oh, I'm a failure. I can't take big dick. I tried to take a big dick and I
Taking
was
big
really
dick
hot.
is
And I was
not an award,
sometimes,
though. It's just a sexual
my dear,
preference,
my
by
dear,
the
it's an
way.
award. It's an award. My dear, it's an award.
An
Thank God
award of what?
for BTMs. I want to use this moment. I want to use this moment to appreciate the BTMs. I mean, let me even go down on my knees. So, thank
We
you
cannot
for
see you are
BTMs that you can
frozen.
take.
You are frozen.
Thank you very much. Can you see me now?
You are still frozen.
I'm frozen. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Can you guys see me now?
Yes, we
Don,
can
can you
see
see me? Don, am I frozen? Chimez, I think it's your network. Don,
Yeah,
am I
you're
frozen?
No, I can
You're
see them
frozen.
properly, but I can't see you frozen from my
Yeah, you
end.
look
Don't
frozen.
anti-frozen from your end.
Jesus
But
Christ.
anyways,
Am I
on behalf of
unfrozen now?
Marvelous, I want to appreciate every bottom. Daluno, thank you
Am
for
I
all the
unfrozen now?
courage, for
Now
all
to
the
talk.
strength, for all
Am I
the
unfrozen now?
experience, for
Now
all the wideness. And hey, you asked the question.
to
Marvelous
talk.
asked a
Am I
very important
unfrozen
question.
now?
Yes,
Can you
you're
guys hear
unfrozen.
me?
Yes, we can hear you. But
Jesus, I've been
hold on.
screaming since.
Hold on.
Chimez,
We can
hold on.
hear you.
Please mute your mic. Mute your mic. Hold on. May I talk? Jesus, what's the meaning of the let me talk? Thank you. For all the BTFs, taking the big dicks of this world, taking the big cucumber, sorry for the word, taking the big dick and the big cucumber. We want to take some time to appreciate you. You are doing a good job. If not for you, many of us would have died of Koji. Because we'll meet some people, they will cry, they will tell us that, oh, I'm so good in bed, I'm Jack Chan, Jet Li and Angelina Jolie, 3 in 1. When you meet them, you have not even gotten halfway. They're already screaming and crying, and you have to end and wash up yourself and forget the Koji. We want to take a moment to appreciate the bottoms that are keeping the view, taking the big dicks, sacrificing that, choosing pleasure, using pain to give us pleasure. You are wonderful, you are fantastic, you are fantabulous, and I just want to give you an award, a spiritual award. Take it. So thank you. 2 minutes you can talk now. I know that your face.
Sorry, did you say something to me? I didn't hear you. What did you say?
You can talk now because you
Oh,
also you are one of the people that you are one of the people that will
I
collect that
thought you
award.
hijacked my show from me. I thought you've
You are collecting
stolen
that
the
award.
show.
I'm not stealing your show. I'm not stealing your show, please. You know I
Let's
can
go
never
on.
steal your show. No, I love you.
I was only joking, but let's go on. You said something that I wanted to remind everybody about. Those joining us, remember we are talking about how to handle a big cucumber. So if you're just joining us, the topic for today is how to handle a big cucumber. We've established what the size of a big cucumber is. We see all your comments. We are going to start reading the comments after this little conversation. Marvelous did point out something. You said when you take too much big dicks, does your booty rather become a loose booty? That question is very important. Let's
I
have
feel
a
it. I feel
conversation
it
on
does. I feel it does. And if it doesn't even loosen up, it makes you become. It weakens your inner walls. I don't know. I always feel that because the doctor told me that it weakens your inner walls, and it gets to a point where by even you stop
that. A doctor
deriving
also told me
pleasure
that
from
the
having
anal
sex.
walls are very strong and they can expand to certain lengths.
They can expand to certain lengths, but if they keep on expanding every time beyond their distance, beyond their reach, it gets just loosened, just like a vagina. Just like a vagina was too.
So do we have like booty tighteners to help tighten a loose booty?
They are putting that like I think like in one natural remedy is using am I frozen again? Because I think I'm frozen.
No, we can see your head is moving. Go on.
Okay, thank you. So like I said, that's the one natural remedy that I heard that works is putting alum inside hot water. If you put it like inside a potty or maybe the toilet seat and pour hot water inside the toilet seat and then sit on it by putting this alum inside. Some people say if you don't have alum, you can put salt inside the toilet seat. That actually works and tightens up your ass. But there are also creams for it. But one natural remedy I heard that works when you just pour salt. Some people say get alum and put the alum inside hot water and sit on it. But some said that if you don't have alum, you could try salt. Salt could actually work and just put the salt inside like the toilet seat and pour hot water inside the toilet seat and then just sit. Let the heat, the steam up your ass and actually tightens it. And then some people have said it works.
So I get you. I feel the same way too. I feel like if you exercise, like if you do a lot of squats, that will help to tighten up the muscles in the anal wall. I also heard that if you put in garlic also help. It kills the bacteria. It also helps to heal
Garlic that is pepper.
if they are what?
Garlic will get pepper.
It helps to
So,
kill the
Chibeze, are you sure?
bacteria.
Please, oh,
Yes.
if anything happens to
Yes.
anybody on Qrealtalk, Chibeze, they will come and hold you responsible.
You're not going to keep the garlic in there for so long. You keep it for an amount of minutes.
But that thing has pepper.
Yes, it helps to kill the bacteria. That's why it's good. Any germs, any infection, anything in there, it helps to also
kill the bacteria.
I'm coming. Let me land. Please mute your mic. Let me speak. Then it helps to heal that place. That is one way. So squatting and putting in some garlic with water, hot garlic, I'm not saying the whole garlic, or you grind it, you put it and you use it as if you're douching. So it helps to heal those places. It works for me. I've tried it. It's okay, but don't put it for so long, because like any natural or any foreign object in your body, it's going to react if you keep it in there for so long. Now we can go to any other comments. Let's read the comments. Navalo,
can I say something?
From you. Yes, don't.
Just about what you were saying about it being loose. I feel like people who like do fisting or like those huge dildos and stuff like that, they become loose. They become what I consider loose. But
thank you very much.
But if you're having sex,
I never said they don't become loose. So,
well, no. I'm just saying, like, if you're having sex with the same person for like 2 years and they have a really big dick, and your butt just so happened to get used to them, I don't think that makes you loose. I think your body gets used to stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't think you're loose just because you like big dicks or are messing with someone who has a big one.
And please, can we use the word cucumber?
I'm sorry.
Banana.
Please, cucumber doesn't work for us on this platform, on this table. We are not fakers. We are not fakers. We don't.
We're not trying to be fakers.
What is it? What are they saying?
The thing is that
average penis. There are
universal laws that govern media and what can be promoted on air. That is why I am reminding us. It's just the broadcast laws and some YouTube restrictions. So let's go.
Someone
let's
said,
go into
Never said average penis size is 5
to 5.5. I feel an
5 to 5.5. This person must be a joker.
Where?
5.5. That's like a carrot.
An average is a 7, from 7 to
like 6, 7.
7, 6, 7, 8. Then once you pass 8, 9, 10, 11.
Especially in Nigeria. No, even in a Nigerian setting. Like what my friend is telling me now, it's supposed to like I think 6.5. I would have said 7, but let's just say 6.5 at the least in the Nigerian setting. It should be like 6.5. Every country has like their average size. I think the highest is Ecuador. I think either Ecuador or Colombia that they have the highest big average like big size. I think it's from 7.5 and above. I can't remember the country that has like the average big size in that country. I need to go and make that research. I didn't know I would need it now, but I should have made that research. There are countries by countries. I think we're number 8 on the list, but there's a particular country that has like their average dick size is 7.5, and they always have it like big, massive. Nigerian men are very. That's why I start to see Nigerian men with a small dick. People you see bottoms with big dick. Like a lot of them these days, not even versatile. Versatiles with big dick.
But how do you feel if you had like an average dick and then your bottom has like a big dick?
And it can be very depressing. No, it can be very oppressing. I'm speaking with fact. I'm speaking from fact, like I'm speaking out of fact. Because I know it has happened to me. That's why me saying I'm big and big and big. I met a bottom that was bigger. And to be honest, I felt, yes, I was like very appreciative. I was like trying to make the person feel, oh my God, you are in downs, you are so, I felt like the first time I didn't take it well. I felt like intimidated. Oh my God, this bottom would probably even say that, despite the fact that my virus is boasting, that I'm bigger and bigger and bigger. I came and I was bigger. But I think the second time the person came, that's when I felt like this kind of comfort. Like I was not much more comfortable. I felt for this person to come in, it mean that you did it well, and probably you should feel much more happy and proud of yourself. That, oh, you have a bottom with a bigger dick, and yet you are making the bottom enjoy it and showing the bottom, like bottom is getting pleasure. So I feel like for me, it didn't really count the second. But the first time I really felt intimidated, to be honest. I mean, I'm speaking from experience. People that have had sexual intercourse with me know how big my dick is. And for me to meet a bottom that is bigger, oh my God, that must be very depressing. But I took it. The first time it was self-esteem issues, but the second time I took it well. I said, now you are my mistress. Let your dick be as long as the Southampton pole. Let it be as long as the Southampton pole. Over this bed, you are my mistress. Over this bed, you are my mistress. You are my bottom, and I will not be intimidated. And I'm going to give it to you.
What you have between your legs, they ain't going to shake me. I will take it like a champion.
Yes,
I feel like for me, I can take anything, but anything that is within reasonable length. And if I ever get to a situation where I'm supposed to top and then my bottom has a bigger dick, I'll just remain. I just stay true to the role I tell you I am for that situation. And that's one thing. I feel most people, when they see someone bigger, they just be like, oh, I'm first too, so why don't I try bottom because you have a big cucumber? But I feel like in such situation, be you a verse. I'm talking to versatile guys now. Try to remain true to the role you told the person you want to engage in sex, that you are for that appointment. So don't really like reading the comments. So let's respond to other comments from those watching us. Thank you guys for being here. And we're going to start reading your comments and replying to you right now.
So it says Jamega Atta. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah,
I agree with you. By writing it, you will be able to control the sex and get you ready for all styles, is what I think he was saying. And I agree. I feel like, writing it, it's like you have the most control first. And, I feel like that's best. You can get used to it. Okay, Colin says, I think the bottom should be ready at every point because you might meet someone at the first date and goes down with the person. So some guys might not like when the conversation goes to dick size. I
think it's important for a bottom. We need to have that conversation first.
Yeah, you need to.
Yes, we always need to have that conversation so that I know what I'm dealing with.
For me, I feel like it's better that you ask and you guys know what you're up against than go and be disappointed.
Yes, because there are some people's walls that cannot take smaller sizes.
And there's some people's walls that can't take bigger sizes. There's some people's walls. I know someone that I know someone that is a BTM, pure BTM, but if you are both a 6.57, the most least, he cannot take you. He'll tell you that, please, I am not going to do this. So because it's just going to be pain. So imagine, and there's somebody I know that will tell you that if it's not like 10 inches and above, he's not interested. 9 inches is managing you. That's if you are fine. Like if you're extra fine. But if you need to be 10 inches and above. Like if you got to a particular point, he said no man is worthy and nobody is worthy. He started doing feasting. He bought those doodoo, those big doodoo. First use those dumb baby, those mannequin. He took the hand of the mannequin.
Wait.
He took the hand of the mannequin.
I love this conversation. So he took the hand of the mannequin.
Yes, he took the hand of the mannequin. He took the hand of the mannequin. But went and put all the hand of mannequin. They sell them for parts of like boutique. You that want a boutique. So he bought the hand, said feasting, because the mannequin was like feasting. So he said he wasn't enjoying it because the mannequin's hand is not like straight. So he said sometimes if he does it too much, he wounds him. So he went and bought this extra. Like he saved and bought an extra large dildo. All those dildo that is bigger than, that's like a flag, the pole of a flag. So now that's what he's now using now. So because it does no man is worthy and no dick is worthy again. He's never seen the dick that satisfies him. So what satisfies him is his own self-satisfaction. So he watches, he said he puts porn off his thing.
Gorilla and horses. If no man is
he said no
worthy, there
man.
is
He
something
said no man
worthy
is worthy.
that carries,
I said,
or elephants.
and that's true. I should have told him. I said that if a man is not worthy, then maybe a beast is worthy. Maybe a beast. Maybe
A
like
beast
gorilla
and
or horse.
elephant. You just carry the whole
Uh-huh.
thing and enter so that we know that you have packed it inside. Ah, Kilodze. I think that is taking it too far. Let's go to the next
No,
comment.
people-
Okay, so again from O'Kear Collins, he says, while some likes talking about it, so bottoms should be ready at all times.
We've had that conversation. Be ready at all times.
Okay, Ricardo Boyce Robinson says there are genetic factors that predispose some people to prolapse. That's interesting.
I don't understand. Can we
he's
explain?
prolapsing is like a rosebud, basically, like when your asshole turns inside out.
Yeah. I know that's always weird now. When you're in all this, it's like pal now. Chimeze, you know pal.
Yes, I know power.
Yeah, pal is prolapse. Something like that. It's probably. You know, it's like hemorrhoids, but it's inside of this thing coming out. It's basically like hemorrhoids. So they're basically almost like the same. But prolapse is when your ass comes inside out.
So,
Yeah.
are you guys trying to say that there are some people who have genetics that if they take big, their annual walls are going to prolapse?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I get the point.
I've seen a lot.
You guys need to try to be using small English on air, because I understand some certain things, but some people may not understand it, so that everybody who is watching can understand.
But in this case, you are the some people because you did not understand it.
Well,
thank you for putting me under the bus.
Yeah. Do you think it could be
the
the same argument for like cucumber size? Like, can some people be predisposed to having a big one or a little one?
What did you say? Come again.
I said like how he said some people are like genetically, predisposed to it. I'm saying, do you think some like boys can be predisposed to having a big or a little penis? Like, do you think that could happen?
As in they just have it or they want it?
No, I'm saying like he's saying genetically. I'm saying, do you think genetically it determines what your penis size is going to be?
Yeah, I feel it's in the gene, because like, okay, not using my family as an example, but most of the people in my family, most of the men in my family always had massive. So it's it is natural that anybody from my family is going to have it massive, because the men before me, 1, 2, 3 generations of men before me already have it that size, and that is the same thing. But sometimes you could literally take it from another side of your parents, so it depends on so many factors. I feel I'm not trying to spoil people's business, but I honestly feel that penis enlargers or enlargement pills don't work, because I know certain people who have been taking penis enlargement screens and pills for years, and it is still. So I feel it's in the genes.
Do you guys think?
I feel there are some pills that can help you with your erection that I will not dispute.
Well, do you guys feel like black men, like how they say black guys always have big, do you feel like that's true?
I feel like you have to look at the person's feet. When you look at the person's feet, you will know there are some black guys that don't have it big. So the first way to know who has something big, you ask the person, baby, what's your shoe size? Your shoe size determines how big you are. If you disagree with me, write in the comments, because many times I've checked people with a 11 or 12-inch shoe size, they are always massive. We cannot hear Mr. Chaffo. Why are you looking at me like that?
Sorry. So I was just agreeing. I was agreeing with what this person said. What both of you are saying.
Charlie, what's your shoe size? Once I know your shoe size, I know what is in between.
I've heard that too. I've heard that too before. I don't know how accurate it is, but everybody that I've seen that they have long legs, that my friends or family members of this, they are actually
long
big.
feet, long feet, big.
Yeah,
feet.
long feet. Yeah.
I don't know. They say like
Yeah.
dark skinned men are bigger than light skinned men. I don't know. I don't know the truth.
So in some situations, that is true. Like black people tend to have an average size cucumber than most of our Caucasian brothers. You're getting, but at the same time, if the Caucasians do have it, they have it massive. So it is either very massive or it is just there. Which is, I feel, is all in the gene. But these days, I feel nobody really has a true gene because most of us have been mixed up by different type of blacks or different type of races or different type of genes. So it all depends. It all depends on so many factors too. Again, I've also heard like if you always wear tight pants, you never have a big dick. So I feel like if you were growing up and you always wore boxers, it gives to grow because you need the penis to grow. It needs that air. But if you're always like putting it, it's just like keeping a plant in a box. The plant is not going to grow past that box because it's kept in that box. It's going to grow in that box. That's the same thing for the penis, the human penis. Somebody say honey is better. Yes, honey is better. Try putting honey inside there. Honey is good. When you put honey inside your booty, it's good when they're eating you out. Everything is all sweet. Honey is good when they are licking it. Again, when you see the dick, the first thing you do is not put it inside. The first thing you do, you have to romance that dick. If it's big, you have to suck it. You have to lick it. You have to check for signs to check that the dick you're about to enjoy is a healthy dick. These days, there are so many people. So you check, you see if there are spots. You check to feel it. That is why you rub it to feel if there are any roughness on the genitals. So make sure you do your examination. I'm not saying it's going to be accurate, but try to examine the penis you are about to indulge in. Another one from Okere. There are some bottoms out there who are really keeping track in terms of taking big cucumber. For all those bottoms keeping in track and body counts of taking big cucumber, good to you. I don't know, like I said, is there a award for taking big dick? I just felt like for me, in my own situation, I started big, I can't go small. but it's the truth. I feel some people too, it's the same situation, like especially when you're in a country where every average person has a big dick, so you just become so accustomed to it. Marvelous, are you with us? Because you look frozen.
Yeah, I'm too. Can you hear me?
Yes. So we know Congo is one of the countries that have a big dick. Let's just try to read the comments fast. World average. This brings me back to ask for those who feast, and you say the booty hole looks like a a golf hole. How do they now tighten that? Mr. Achafo, do you have anything to say?
I don't think it goes back to normal after that.
If the inside comes out, it doesn't go back to normal. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so. Because it's been stretched too much.
I was like on a space, right? A space on Twitter where they were having this conversation. So this guy kind of posted, when you're in one of those spaces, right? They can just advertise your stuff. So he had his picture and he had like his booty hole and you could see it. And he was like, yeah, it's because I've been taking so much. I'm a champion. That is why it's like that. And someone was trying to body shame him for having, a loose, not really like a loose hole, but having the inner part of I don't know the word you use, but I'm just going to use a layman word, having the inner part of the booty come out. And they were trying to slut shame him. I feel one, as we've discussed, is in the genetic. I feel people should not be slut shamed. I feel if the hole is big, it's because you've been doing an awesome job for those who have it big. And I feel without them, we wouldn't be having so much, experiences. So I feel we should appreciate bottoms, regardless if it's big.
Please, excuse me. Excuse me. You might be big. You might have a hole that is big enough to play golf, even big enough for an entire stadium or an Olympics, where they can even do swimming, playing cricket, playing wrestling too, big enough like an entire stadium. And it could not be that you've even helped a single top, service a single top. You can be like my friend that is buying mannequin, choking it inside the hand of mannequin, even going about insulting tops, saying that they are not worthy. You cause your affliction upon yourself. When we don't ride like National Stadium or Olympics, Tokyo Olympics 2020, you will not be crying and be looking for remedy on how to close it. Please, how can I close this? How can people will not say, oh, because she did this? She was doing a nice job helping tops. No, they were not. Some of them are not. Some of them are. Some of them are not. I just have to clarify that because some people are just there. They are the ones that cause their own affliction, putting a different thing. We saw the one that was putting the agonist bottle. It was not Mirinda bottle. You saw that video now. That the ass even thought the person did not still care, trying to force it in like his life depended on it. What kind of this is that?
I feel that is his personal preference, and if that's what he wants, kudos to you. Kudos to you who do such.
If that's what he wants, where do you draw the line? After they will come, that one will not come now and say, oh, it's because she was a power bottom and because she serviced a lot of guys. That's what she has. No, it was you that caused your own affliction.
Somebody who could satisfy her, and she decided to look for something.
Oh, and she decided to record it for the camera.
Because sometimes people who have for some people who have like big
cucumbers, she should go and enroll for Zamani's porn.
That is
she should go and enroll for Zamani's porn class.
That is why we talked about how to use the usage of the genitals is the most important thing, because you could have a very average size genital and you could use it very well and satisfy your bottom like never before, and you could have a very large genitals and at the end of the whole day the thing is just massive for nothing, useless dick. Before you know, 5 minutes, 1 minute, you have come. Those are situations where bottoms we don't appreciate when you come in 1-2 minutes. We expect also, and there are some, like we discussed before, there are some tubs that when they start, they are like, it's all about them. It's all about them.
Why not go buy DD?
I'm coming. But instead, it's about your bottom. You should make sure that you are listening to the signs of your bottom. Is he mourning? Is he feeling relaxed? What is his body languages? Sex is not just about you put you in budget, eat here, no, they are things. That is why you need to make sure that you make your bottom comfortable, because at the end of the whole day, you want it to be an enjoyable experience. You don't want it to be a rush quickie section. You can come in, Mr. Chaffo, now.
Can you hear me? I think I'm done. I think I said what I have to say. Because time is going. So if anything I say now, we'll leave the back and forth. Time has really gone.
Okay, Ray says, I love buttons with bigger dick. I'm just going to rush through the comments. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. I disagree with because there are some people that have small feet or shoe size but have a very big dick. As a matter of fact, there is this short guy that I know very well, but very heavy duty. That is why I said some, in some cases. That is why I keep on using in some cases. When you have, but I've never seen someone with a big feet and have a small dick. Until we see someone with a big feet with a small dick, then I feel that argument will become logical. But as long as we've not seen someone with a big foot with a small dick, that argument is still accurate. We've talked about this already. I'm back again. The last comment, please, another question. Does one toes determine the size of their dick? No, it's unusually the feet, not the toe. I wear a size 41 and 42 or so. Tell me my dick size. Your dick size should be around 10, 8, 9, 10, within those sizes. But on an average, it could also be a 7.5. So it depends too, because it's between 41 and 42. I don't know if it's 41 and 42 UK size, Chinese size, or American size. That is it for the comments. So let's just wrap it up and just do some games so that we can call it out for the night, because this is 7 o'clock on the dot. So over to you, Don't. Just give me 1 minute. Let me just put you in the screen. Okay. You are live.
All right. All right, guys. So today we're just playing a basic question game regarding cucumbers and big members. So you guys can definitely play along in the comments. We're just going to answer some fun questions regarding size.
Go on.
Okay. All right. So I'm so sorry, guys. My phone is broken, but there's this picture. I don't know if you guys have seen this before. It's a dildo with a bunch of colors. Do you guys see that?
Yes, we can see half of it, and the rest is just white. If you
Yeah, I
turn
can see
it,
it.
if you
My
could
phone
dim
is
it a
so
bit,
broken. I'm sorry. Yeah.
yes, we can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
So it's the colors of rainbow, right? This dildo is actually pretty famous. It's 12 inches. Um, Honestly, what color do you guys think you can go down to? So it's red, orange, yellow, green, and
To
blue.
the green, darling, baby, green, green,
Green.
green. Marvelous cannot
All
go
the way to
anywhere.
the green, and
Marvelous
then
is a
there's
top.
blue, and then there's violet at the bottom.
I can shock
Violet.
people. I can shock
What?
people for £1,000,000. For a
He
million
said he can
naira,
do what?
I can go to for £1,000,000. I can go to red. For
To
five
red.
Oh
million, I
shit!
can go to orange. I
Oh
can go to
shit!
orange. To orange.
Oh
For
shit!
10 million, I can go to yellow.
Oh
For 20 million, I can
I
go
can go
to
to green. And for
green.
60
For 20
million,
million,
we can go to violet.
Oh, whoops.
Ah.
we must take it. All the open killers in this world, poppers, so
So,
people will have to
Henry, you
get
don't think
drunk.
you can go to violet? I mean, I thought you liked them big.
Who, me?
Yeah, to
That means
violet.
I can go to the very last, whatever the last color is. That is what I go to. Darling, darling, I can take anything. Baby, please. It's all
So,
about, it's all in your mindset. If you free your mind, relax, love, because for me, I have to be in love with you. That's why I don't bottom every time. I have to be in love with you for me to open myself to you. It is a
oh.
sacred duty.
And Marvelous, you said you're a top, I'm assuming. So you said you can only do oral to red.
This is depending
Yeah,
on
I
how
can.
much
I
the
said
price they give you.
depending on how much the price keeps coming, I'm going to
He can go
get down
down to
to
the
it.
down.
Okay.
Marvelous 2 minutes.
Depending on the price.
Oh, please stop. Jesus, stop. Ah, darling, take it
It's
easy.
fine.
Here's a couple questions for us and the commenters. How big is too big?
How big is too big? Please, guys, you watching us, what do you think is big or too big for you? I feel for me, too big is when it passes 12 inches. So please, if it's more than 12 inches, that is too much. Daddy, what is that? God of heaven, please.
Oh
stay
my
stay
god.
on your own. I want to be able to use the washroom when I want to use the washroom, because it's very important that even after you have had sexual intercourse, you still take care of your anal walls, especially for bottoms. Bottoms are mostly liable to have HIV more than tops, and more than any other sexual preferences. So it's very important that after you've had sex, bottoms, listen to me, go. The first thing you should do is go use that water again, douche out all the particles that have been in that place. Make sure you douche it out. Make sure you sit on that toilet, get everything flushed out. And again, what I do is make sure after you finish doing that, make sure if you're on PrEP, you take your PrEP pills. If you know your partner's HIV positive, mm, sorry, forgive me. You know your partner HIV status. You discuss that before you have sex if you're going to go in raw. Again, we didn't talk about condoms, but condoms are very important. And again, a lot of bottoms do have allergies to the types of
Yeah.
condom or to the products that are made from the condom. That is a topic of discussion for another day. But let me just throw in a little light. If you are allergic to condoms, make sure you're on PrEP. If you feel that the condoms are so rough, please use a lot of honey or a lot of lube or a lot of whatever you feel comfortable to put inside that place, that you will not feel it. It is better to be safe than sorry. That is why we started sex education, to enlighten people so that the spread of HIV can be reduced and it can be controlled in our community. Over to you, Mr. Dunt.
Okay. The next question is, well, Jamaica, he says 10 inches is too big for me. I was gonna say the same thing. Like anything over 10, 11 inches is pretty big. So yeah, that's my opinion.
See, Darling, you don't have to go down to the deepest. You can stop in where where you can stop.
Okay.
And the whole thing is that, again, like for you, I feel why it's too big for you is because when you sit on it, it allows your whole body to open up to it. So when you sit on it, it's not going to feel too big. But if it was like maybe doggy style or just missionary style, then it's going to be painful. So that's why we say try reverse cardboard or cardboard to make sure you take full dominance over the genitals before you go into full action. Please start slowly. They don't give award for those that they tear their annual walls. Start slowly. Take your time. If the top is in a hurry, tell him, baby, forget it. Let off. Do something else. You could do another foreplay. You could you could do fronting. You could do anything else. If you are not prepared, if you're not ready for a dick, please don't take one.
Okay. Here's you don't have to answer like I guess what your size is, but how confident do you yourself feel about your size? Like how confident do you feel about what you
Darling, I feel like my size is above average. It is good enough. It is a reasonable amount of size. Nobody's gonna complain that it is small. So I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable about my size. And again, for those who have small sizes, I feel you should try to be comfortable with your size, because at the end of the whole day, you ain't gonna have a bigger penis or it's not gonna grow. So just get used to being comfortable. Try it again if you feel uncomfortable. Talk about it until the confidence in bed. Because if you're not comfortable in bed, the sex is gonna be horrible.
And you, Mr. Chafu?
Marvelous. Marvelous is on the freestyle.
I'll answer.
You guys.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, because my phone was freezing, I don't think I heard everything correctly. But I think what I heard is that you said that how big is too big, right?
Well, that was the first question, yeah.
Yeah, which one was the second one?
Yeah, the second question was how confident are you about your size? Like,
that's true. That's true. How confident I am? I'll give myself probably. Forget the way I still talk. I would still say like a 7. A 7.
And you're saying big. Please, darling. A 7 just
my confidence. I'm saying my confidence. I'm saying my confidence level from a 1 to a 10 is a 7. I'm not saying I'm 7.
My confidence for me is an 8.5.
My confidence for me is like a 7.5.
Unless I meet your friend that uses a mannequin, then it will drop to a 2.
I'm cool with my size because it's nothing I can really do to change it. You know what I mean? So it's like
that's the truth.
It is what it is. Like God gave it to me, and I'm gonna use it how I'm gonna use it.
And I feel finally, before we wrap up, it's not a size.
You can enlarge it. You can enlarge it. You can make it bigger.
I feel it's not the size that matters. It's how you use it or how you enjoy your pregnancy. Because, like, darling's listening to me now. You are 20.
Please, can we stop
19,
this hypocrisy?
You're 18,
can we
19,
stop
20,
hypocrisy?
30. Use your
Can we stop hypocrisy, please? This show will end. Can we stop this hypocrisy?
It's not.
You come on air. You say once you go big, you can never go small. You are still saying size does not matter. Size does not matter. Let's just all go to church and be happy together.
I have one last question before we wrap up, guys.
Okay, one last question.
All right. So, have you ever made someone tap out, or has someone ever made you tap out with their size?
I've always made someone tap out every time. I'm a good stuff. I'm a good bottom. Wherever I'm playing, you get it hot, you get it wet. If I'm playing bottom, everywhere be dripping, everywhere be creamy. Boy, I cream like a darling. Don't let me go into details. Let's save it for another day.
So you've never tapped out to nobody? Nobody's ever made you tap
Once,
out?
Darling, nobody is capable. I have a sex drive and a sex stamina. I am a machine.
I have definitely tapped out before. I'm just gonna be honest.
Unless the person is rough, then I will push the person away. Other than that, I should be good with any size. But I hate
And
rough
you,
sex.
Mr. Achafu?
if the person is rough and you still uh, leave, you push the person away, that means you tapped out. Once all this hypocrisy, but you tapped out. Baby, you tapped out.
It
You
has
couldn't
never
take the
happened.
roughness anymore.
It hasn't happened.
So for me, as have I made anybody tap out? Not really. I've made I don't know what you mean by tap out. Maybe when we're doing it and person says no. That has
Tap
never
out is
happened.
like
But
they
I
tell
know,
you this, they can't take it. It's too much. You have to stop.
yeah, like when you started, okay, yes, that's never happened. But I know what has happened is when some people see it, they will say, "Oh, I cannot take it; it's too big." But once it goes in, no, nobody has ever tapped out. If you kept on with it, I think what they even give me like better reviews. Like, oh my god, I thought I would not be able to take it, but it's better when it's inside this and that. They keep on praising me. I know Chimezie doesn't like to hear this, but it's the truth. They keep on praising me. They tell me, "Daddy, you're sweet. Daddy, you're
It's
nice.
not like I don't
Daddy,
like
you
to
taste like
hear it. The thing is that
chocolate."
it's coming
Yeah,
from your mouth. You
mute.
can't say you can't say I am good in bed. Everybody will say they are good in bed. It is the people to tell us that you are good in bed. When we hear their own
They
testimony, then
tell
we can confirm that testimony is true.
Thank you very much. You can go and be looking for them. But they tell me, Daddy, you're so good. You, you give it to me so silky, so milky, so sweet. You are the sweetest. You are the hottest. You are the baddest. You are the strongest. You are the finest. You are the
Thank you,
stamina.
Joe
You are the king
Victor.
of stamina. And if I cannot
Joe
perform
Victor
like
says
that,
he
you people should
loves this
sue
live
me.
show,
We
guys.
love you too, Victor. I mean, Joe.
Thank you
But
so much. We love you. We love you, Joe
anyways,
Victor. You
guys,
can
we
come
are
and
about
also
to
taste. Joe Victor, you can message me to taste mine so that you can come and tell Chimezie if you actually love the dick too next week.
but anyways, guys, it has been an amazing show. I really love that all of you contributed. We are having a variety of shows coming up, so you guys should make sure you
From
share
next week,
from next
from
week.
next week, we are going to drop it hot.
Yes, we're going
No
to be
more
having
time for events. No more
we are
time
going
for
to be
waka
having
waka. It is hot.
conversations upon conversation about our community, about more things because people have been writing to us and they say, "Oh, we want you guys to talk about this." But this show, Sex Education, is just dedicated to sex education. So we're going to have variety of shows. We're going to be having giveaways for those who have been loyal to us. So expect something from us. I'm not going to tell you where the giveaway is. You have to be subscribed to us and you have to be watching and commenting. And when we announce the giveaway and you get the answers to the questions right, you may be one of our first lucky winners to carry home something amazing or to get something amazing. Any last thoughts from you guys before we end it up for today?
I
Last
think
thoughts from
for
you.
the first time, I would say I'm good. No, for me, I would say I'm good. I just feel like for a BTM, know what works for you, know what you like, and just go with the flow and always communicate. Communication is key. If you cannot take it, say you cannot take it. If you can take it, say you can take it. Communication is key. Do not go and when you cannot take it because you want to prove that you are a power bottom, a hot bottom, you now go and tear your walls and start treating your anus for a long period of time. No, you
And
can't
then
even.
you will
And
not be
tops,
able to
please do
shit,
better.
so you still need to shit.
You will
So
not be able to even take more of this. Exactly. And tops, please do better. If you are a top, try and make it easier because you have a big dick doesn't mean you should use it to punish the BTM unless the BTM wants to.
wait, was it
But
not
if
you
the
that said
BTM does
you
not
will
want
have
it like
sex
that,
with your
try and make
enemy?
it pleasurable.
It was marvelous. It was this thing marvelous that says you have sex with his enemy to flog them, to punish them. It's double
That is
standard.
my enemy, not somebody. Before you hook up with someone, it's supposed to be your sweetheart, somebody that you
So
want
why
to
will you
make to
have sex
enjoy
with
the
your
sex.
enemy in the
Somebody
first
you want.
place?
Because I can never have sex with my enemy, of course.
Let's go to you, John.
One last thing I would say is, guys, just be confident. Like, whether you're big, whether you're small, whether you're long and skinny, whether you're short and fat, like, it does not matter. Just be confident in yourself, first off. And if you are dealing with a partner who is big, just, practice, try to get used to it. Don't just say you can't do it, try. That's how I would feel.
Exactly, you may be in love with somebody and he may have it massive. So, like Dante said, practice, use your fingers, use your judo, get your
Mhm.
vibrators, do all the things that are necessary. Check what you're eating before you have sex. Make sure that
Absolutely.
you're even having communication when having sex. When he's inside, have this conversation if you want to be intimate. Sometimes also help the top two when you're having sex, especially like when you're having like the missionary where your back, I don't know, yeah, I think it's missionary where your back is on the bed. You could cross your leg and hold him so that you could feel his calm inside you. Make sure that you are doing everything to please your top two. Don't forget that he needs pleasing, you need pleasing. Top, remember your bottoms needs pleasing. Make sure you don't forget your foreplay, your conversation, your dirty talk, and also make sure that after you've had sex, you do the proper thing to take care of yourself. Go for a regular checkup. If you're in Toronto, they too bad. Sorry, my internet went out. If you're undocumented, if you don't have a health card, Hustle Food Clinic will still attend to you in regardless of your status in the country. Please make sure you do a HIV test once in a while if you are been indulging in dangerous sex. Thank you for watching. Thank you for always being here. Thank you, Okere. Thank you, Joe, Victor. Thank you, Attach. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry, I'm gonna learn your name. Thank you to everyone who has been watching. Good night.
Thank you, guys.